I don't know how is it working without Mr. Bhatt. That should be a question because all my life I've worked with him.
I'm just very grateful that I got to be a part of their team for the second time. That does not really happen to many actors. So I just feel very.
I'm not going to be directing. I will be doing what I do the best is mentoring.
Hello to all. I'm Sarika Sharma, the editor entertainment from Moneycontrol. So, sir, first of all, Mr. Mahesh Bhatt, it's really great to be talking to you. And sir, you've written such innumerable hit films in your career, Earth, Saransh, to name a few from the career that you've had over 5 decades. So, what made you write Bloody Ishq? And do you think that the style of writing needs to be tweaked for today's audience as well?
Well, we are living in an attention deficit age and an age which is uh, being kind of is in the stranglehold of the need for products look sensuous, sensuality. Products need to have sheen. So I would say that if we compare the journey from Arth Saransh, which were austere looking uh, spaces in which, or looking movies, and also the spaces where they were shot were intimate spaces. And we have an intimate drama in Bloody Ishq between a man and a woman. Essentially, it's a interpersonal relationship film, but it is told within the luscious expanse of Scotland, an island, uh, and it's told in a villa, which was recreated, created, not recreated, created by the through the state-of-the-art technology of augmented reality in Unreal Engine. And I think state-of-the-art technology married with intimate storytelling with what is the quantum leap from the movies you mentioned. So yes, to answer your question, things change. Yes, they have changed, and yet they have not changed. As they say, the more things change, the more they remain the same. Uh, but we are living in an attention deficit age, and in that attention deficit age, the paranoia of the platform executive is that if you don't grab the audience in the first 10 minutes, you're lost. They will take the remote and will go somewhere else. And that's the death knell to the.
Yeah.
So I feel that's the compulsion that weighs on my mind. And I think this is the age of reverse mentoring, and he is my protege. But I have a great joy to learn from him. The pacing of movies that he feels it's like graduating from 5 day cricket to 2020, and the rhythm, the game is apparently the same, but the adrenaline rush and the pacing and the skills required to play that game, which needs to keep the audience in the stadium and on the TV enthralled, is something that weighs on the head of the filmmaker, and which I'm learning from him, that he is feeling the ground beneath his feet. Of course, yes, I provide him the depth that he asks for with my writing team of two young ladies to kind of iron out my wrinkled thinking and give it bigger literary life. That's right. Come a long way, yet essentially human nature remains shackled to the Stone Age and has in exactly the same way. The primary instincts continue to remain the same. And the heartbeat of Bloody Ishq, as well as title suggests, is primal.
Bloody Ishq. Vikram, talking to you, you've given us hits like 1920, Haunted, the Ras series. So, what makes Bloody Ishq, sets it apart?
I think what sets Bloody Ishq apart is the fact that Bloody Ishq is a supernatural thriller. What boss and I, uh, that means Bhatts and I, what we've done uh, is that we've woven together a who done it and a how done it with a horror.
Okay.
So we understand, as he said very wisely, that we live in attention deficit times,
Of
and when
course.
it comes to OTT, there is a severe attention deficiency.
Mm.
You have the remote control in your hand, and nobody wants a slow-paced, lilting horror film. So we have twists and turns and the scares, and I think that together is a kind of a heady cocktail. That's the one. That is what is so different about apart from, of course, what Boss really does well is weave the emotional story, the story of characters and relationships, and together with that we have this. So I think it's a very new attempt.
And how has it been working, Mr. Bhatt? You've been associated with him for so long, and now in this new, as he says, less attention span. So how do you guys actually work out together then?
Actually, I don't know how is it working without Mr. Bhatt. That should be a question because all my life I've worked with him, so
Yeah,
I don't know what it is to work without him. Uh,
of course.
see, the thing is that let me answer this question in terms of music. A lot of times we say that, oh, पुराने गाने अच्छे थे और आज के अच्छे नहीं है.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's the melody. The melody is lost to sound and rhythm and the rap and stuff like that. Uh, but with him and me, he is the melody and I am the arrangement, and that's why we work so well together.
So, Bhatt Sahab, आपके पास, you have the same answer?
Well, I need to tell you that he has the self-mutilating niceness in him, which is an attribute which I've been trying to, you know, kind of prune off. And he underestimates his vast knowledge and the depth of understanding he has. Yes, one thing that he does have a tendency to is to not explore the depths of his characters, and which he relies on me and now because he could do it to a certain extent, but now with the writing room and with presence of two ladies, and it's essentially a female-centric film. Woman drives it. They've been able to get into the heart of the woman. In a very fragile condition, she has lost some control, and she has become in a very vulnerable state to a huge villa, which is stunningly beautiful. There's capture and everything. She feels the very walls have the menace, and there is a presence which she feels. What worsens the matter is that her situation is she starts thinking that there's something not right with her. For traveler, the nearest person she has is her husband, who
Yes,
happens
that's
on the surface prima facie loves her. Keeps on assuring her that we see as viewers that there may be a sinister side to it. That is what, according to me, is the menace of the film. And one of the genius strokes of his is that he said that what we must give is this island, no telephonic connectivity.
yeah.
This island which doesn't have connection with the outside. So a modern person in a situation without access to the world outside and feel as if the world is being pulled away from under his feet. So all that kind of a cocktail of all that makes Bloody Ishq. But in an attention deficit age, as I said, uh, we underestimate the evolved taste of the audience also. The audience also evolved. In the sense that you have something that they can empathize with. The challenge of any writer or director is to create in the first 5 minutes empathy for the
Yeah.
central character whose skin is whose heart you're inhaling the narrative. If you manage to do that, then you are home. Then the audience is feeling for you through the character. You have managed to do that. Now, the pace is not artificially accelerated. What I like about Vikram as a director now, he is, of course, a man who is aware of how little time people have, how impatient people are, even with the trailers. They don't even complete a trailer. Uh, and you guys are in the media, you know how difficult it is to keep. There is the time poverty, which is weighing down everybody's head. He, but this movie sings you on its own terms. It doesn't suddenly accelerate, doesn't start feeling insecure. And I think that's a sign of the graying man up there with the beard also graying. But he says, I'm going to sing my song, it's going to be my song, my lyric, and I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. And I'm certain if I feel completely assured that I'm singing it, he will also. And that's what Bloody Ishq is.
Coming to you, Avika, you've come a long way from sweet Anandi of Balikavadu, that sweet little chubby girl who would say, Meri shadi mein aana. And now, how has it been working with such tall words?
I'm just so lucky that I get to spend so much time with them. Even just listening to them just makes me feel overwhelmed because it's so much experience that speaks, and there's so much to learn. And that's exactly what I felt when I was on the set. Every day I was just very excited, of course, for the scenes and the way I have to perform and all of that. But there was something I was learning for life, or how I should be in life, and they are just such big inspirations for me. It's just it's just so it's a blessing to just be around them.
And how did you choose this role? But why Bloody Ishq? Because you've worked with Mr. Bhatt earlier as well. So why again a horror movie?
I think the script and both of them, they chose me, and I just said yes. It was not very difficult for me to say yes when I knew that they are a part of it and Vikram sir himself is going to direct it. I was very excited to work with him. As an actor, you have like a list of directors you always want to work with, and of course, he was one of them. So it's just so much excitement that I have for this film, and I'm just very grateful that I got to be a part of their team for the second time. That does not really happen to many actors, so I just feel
And
very.
And you were Anandi, that small little girl, and now you're a grown-up girl. So what is the people's reaction, like audience reaction? Like I have seen you as Anandi in Balikavadu, when you were very young. We followed your journey. So how has it been for you on screen? Like Vikram said in one of his interviews that actors who work for so long as child actors, they lose interest, but you haven't. So how is it?
I think the reactions that I've received from the audiences have always been on the lines of, we are proud of you. We have seen your journey and we look up to you. So all of this really means a lot to me. And I just want to continue to work really hard and keep my kindness alive. And I should also be aware of the things that I'm achieving and receiving in life. For example, this particular project. And I should at all times be extremely.
Thank you. Vardhan, you're the grandson of legendary Amrish Puri Sahab. So how has it helped you? Has it somewhat helped you navigate yourself in the industry as well?
Uh, when I decided to get into films, my grandfather wasn't around physically, but definitely in terms of the upbringing I've got, in terms of the way he looked at cinema, the cine education I got at home, all the conversations we had around cinema performance. Of course, they get embedded in your soul and they help you as an artist, as an actor. So definitely, he might not be there with me physically, but I can always feel his presence, his looming presence. He is someone I consider my God. He's always taking care of me, and right now he's sitting next to me, and I can
So,
feel his warmth. I can feel his love.
so
Even I can.
your we all can, who can forget Mr. Amrish Puri. So, we've seen Mr. Puri do roles, in Ram Lakhan or in Mr. India as Mogambo. He's still remembered even after so many years. So, have you ever thought of doing negative roles yourself? I mean, not shades of grey, but negative, all and out negative.
As excited as I am about positive roles, I am equally excited, if not more, about negative because I think the scope one has to perform and uh, the kind of the kind of range you can show as an actor in negative roles is phenomenal. And of course, coming from a family which has become what it is due to really strong negative roles, my affinity towards the dark spaces, the complex characters, the nuanced characters is really high. I get magnetized towards anything that's not typically cookie cutter, positive, plain roles. So definitely, yeah, I would love to explore a lot of that as
So your
well
your
as
your
positive
role
roles.
in in this film as well is hinted at this one, Shades of Grey. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely is a very
Hey,
complex
no
character.
spoilers. No spoilers.
I'm not giving any spoilers. Definitely not.
We're not
But
allowed
definitely
to.
yes. I would like you to watch the film and
Yeah, of course I
then
will.
maybe we can have a conversation later and you tell me what you felt.
Yeah. From Mr. Bhatt, I could get it that it's a kind of a gray shade character, shade with gray. So that's why.
That
And
was
so,
that was deliberate.
Mr. Bhatt, coming to you, you've directed your elder daughter Pooja Bhatt in such lovely films. So, what about your collaboration with your younger daughter Alia Bhatt? So, what is it? When do we see that?
Well, we had a disastrous collaboration in South, but that was a very strangely eerie times, to put it mildly. But as they say that you are a part of the entertainment world, if you deal with the intoxicating highs and the adulation, you deal with the vilification and the downside of it at all also. Well, as I said, I am not uh, going to be directing. I will be doing what I do the best is mentoring. And I think making people realize their own potential is a far more challenging, gratifying task. And because movies have limited scope after a point, there's only that much they can add to your sense of purpose. I think one looks as one gets older, one has faith in the younger people. And I have tremendous faith in the young people who are there on the screen. Uh, I feel that they are the voices of today. They have an emotional quotient which was unusual. Which is very unusual now, considering the age that they are in. It took years for people to come there. Some people are afflicted with it's the gift to touch life in its raw form when they're very young. And I happen to be born old, and I feel that the younger generation is emotionally very rich. Avika is very rich. Vardhan is rich. In fact, he just now mentioned that when he first met me, I said, "Very budi hu hai." And that phrase borrowed from my grandmother. She used to tell that I was a young boy, that we were born old. So I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm enjoying it. Is running and mentoring Vikram's organization. Love doing it. I want him to solve his own potential, which he's doing. And the other people in my fold who also love it. That's what I do more than whether they're actors, music directors, writers. And I think I owe that to them because whatever I have got, what I've received, and I need to give it back.
And Vikram, you've given us Kasoor as well. You know, you've moved away from the horror genre at times. Will we be getting to see a light-hearted comedy from you as well? Because as I spoke with Vicky Kaushal the other day, and he said we've been getting a lot of heavy content right now. So what do we expect?
I made a film called Avara Pagal Divana and
Hmm.
Divane Ve Pagal.
We can't forget that.
And now I'm going to make a film very soon called Hindi Picture.
Hindi picture.
Yeah.
ऐसा नाम
Because it is about a Hindi picture. And, and I have to still narrate to boss, so I can't narrate to you right now. But I have a feeling that he might just
Heard
throw me.
whispers of Hindi picture being film around me.
Yeah.
Ah.
So, but I have a feeling that I might be thrown out of his cabin for the nonsense I'm going to talk. But I know his sense of humor, so he's going to enjoy it.
And how
I'm
was it
dying.
working with?
Let's just say that I'm dying to make a comedy.
Yeah, we would also love to see a comedy from you. You know, we've seen horror. Horror थोड़ा मेरा genre नहीं है, but ठीक है, we can watch it still.
अब
इस
देख
बार
लेना
आँख
यार,
बंद करके
हमने
देख
इंटरव्यू
लेंगे.
किया आपके साथ तो देख लेना.
आँख बंद करके देखना ही पड़ेगा, थोड़ा थोड़ा खोल खोल के.
मैं तो कहता हूँ टीवी ऑन करके चले जाइए आप बस.
और सर अविका और वरदान के बारे में क्या कहना चाहेंगे?
क्या कहूँ, यूजलेस है दोनों.
हाँ.
एक्चुअली अविका और वर्धन जो हैं, वो अविका ने तो खैर she worked with us in 1920
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
and just hit it out of the park in 1920 in a big way, and I can say proudly that she's done it again. So 2 films, 2 centuries, not an easy one. Don't think Bloody Ishq is possible without Avika.
Awesome.
But I can also say that it's not possible without Vardhan. Because, Vardhan has the honesty and the sincerity of being in a scene which is not even his sometimes. And I think that is a very generous actor. And you find very few actors who are so generous. Everybody wants their bit in a scene and they don't see a film as a whole. But Vardhan is a team player. Apart from being a very good actor, apart from being a very underestimated actor, let me tell you, at this point of time. But come tomorrow, things will change. And apart from that, all they did was sit behind me on the set and do goosebumps.
Youngsters always do goosebumps.
How much time do you have? What do you do? What are you eating? What are you going to do? Why don't you take this diet? Why don't you do this? I was like, yaar, in log ko main kaise chup karau?
So, एक last question before we wrap up. This entourage cost of actors has been bothering the industry now. Since you've been a producer, both of you have been producers and directors. So, आपको क्या कहना है इसके बारे में? What is it? You know, Faraz said this. Anurag has said it. I spoke with Rajkumar Gupta the other day. He also said it. He said अगर producer कमाएगा नहीं तो film कैसे बनाएगा? So, what is it?
Look,
चार चार van.
I think it's a choice that the producer makes. We don't want them, so we don't, pay that price. It's part of the it's part of the plus that you pay. I mean, it's like if you want a luxury car, then you pay for your luxury tax, and you pay everything plus. So if you want a certain actor, you pay plus. But what I'm really worried about in all this are the actors for the stars who think that this entourage is what makes them stars,
Yeah.
because their validity comes with the access and the excess. But if you are going to gauge your stardom by the frills that are being provided to you, then one day you will not be provided those frills because everyone falls. And on that day, you will think you're not a star. And that would be unfortunate for you because you put yourself into that hole.
Yeah, you're right. What's up? You have to say something before we wrap up. Have you
Well,
ever faced?
I think what I would like to say about Bloody Ishq coming on Disney Plus Hotstar.
वो तो we are gonna watch it now, sir. अब तो देखना ही पड़ेगा.
It gives us on the penetration into those spaces where you will not touch the outlets that would be given to a film with this modest star cast. The reach will be phenomenal. The scale of the film has been has touched its all-time high with the kind of budgets which were given to us, and I think Vikram has triumphed there. And when you hear the very strict viewers from the platform that the film looks smashing, that means we have reasons to smile that we have achieved that minimum standard that they expected because they are Disney. So that's one thing. But I would say at the end of the day, the film has a breath of life. There's a story which is short. The actors are very credible. You see the birth of Vardhaan. As Vikram said, that he's a very generous actor, and generosity is a rare attribute in actors. And, but people recognize it, and
Yes.
to astound you with a certain amount of stillness, which is rare to find with him at this stage. Vikram is very assured. He is not insecure in the storytelling, and I think it's in the horror genre. It is more dealing more with the horror of the heart, of how certain you feel when you are not quite getting anchor on the most important part of your life, which is your religion. Do not know what you see on the surface is really the heart that is beating there. But there's something sinister. But that's what makes Bloody Ishq very interesting and very fascinating to watch. And I'm certain that the verdict will come in a day or two, and we will have much to be happy about. We live in hope, we die hope. That's the bane of the film industry. All over the world, all through the ages. That's why I say the world belongs to performers like us, not to spectators who sit down there. But had it not been for our guts and the ability to take repeated risks, step into the arena, in spite of the fall, there would be no entertainment industry. And I don't talk about myself. I talk about the entire fraternity of the entertainment world.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, all
Thank
of
you.
you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
giving me such time. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.